Welcome to this video. This is yet another tactics trainer video on chess.com, and this time it's the 2200 rated tactics. So this should be a bit bit more difficult than the last couple of times than when I tried it. Okay, let's look at this. It's white to move, and we notice that there's some conflict in the center going. Yeah, like knight c6 can take. Yeah, there's the long diagonal playing a role. And one thing that certainly will be important is that after knight takes, bishop takes, b4, the bishop on c5 is not having many squares. In fact, bishop d6 is the only move, it seems. And then I wonder, what about then just e5? e5 is a double attack, attacking c6 and attacking d6. So d6, bishop g2, e takes d6, queen b7 is just about holding, it seems. It looks very close though to a solution. Knight c6, bishop c6, d6, bishop d6. This really looks shaky. e5, bishop g2. If I go e5, bishop g2, and I just recapture, e5, bishop g2, king g2. He has the check on b7 and bishop e7, so this is saving. Yeah, I'm not seeing it at the moment. d6. Or is there something with... okay, that's a different idea actually. What about this? b6, bishop d6, knight c6, bishop c6, queen d3 with a tempo on the bishop. And if black retreats the bishop or plays rook d8, we're going to go queen c3, threatening mate on g7, and the bishop on c6. Yeah, I think that's a solution, to be honest. Okay, yeah, that's it. I think that's it. So we're going to take here b4, queen d3. Yeah, let's just briefly check it again. d6, bishop g2, a d6, queen b7 saves the day for black. So queen d3 attacking this bishop. It does not have any big squares. It can go to c7 or b8. Then we play queen c3 attacking the light squared placed bishop, and on g7 mate. So we cannot cover g7 and c6 at the same time. If he goes after queen d3, rook somewhere here, rook d8, again queen c3. So this is indeed the solution. And queen c3. Okay. So I managed. I took a while, but I managed to find the solution. That's nice. Only a pass rate of 16%. Okay, so the next one. Oh, that looks complicated. Interesting. So there was the check on e7 and king h8 were the last moves. Yeah, well, we can use candidate moves principle here. If we start, if we take on g6, fg, We cannot take f8 then. We need to take rook takes d1. In this situation we have equal material. No, I'm sorry, we are one pawn up. So it's not terrible, yeah. We can also just take d1 with the rook or the knight. That looks difficult, really, to evaluate. This is really a purely calculation kind of thing. Interesting. Okay, if we consider, we take with the knight, I mean knight takes d1, he's just taking on c2 and the whole thing, this didn't make much sense. e6 he can just take. So I don't think that this is much good. We go rook takes bishop c2 also doesn't look very good. To be honest, why would we give up possibly both pawns? So if we then reconsider, knight takes g6, f g6, rook takes d1. Black cannot really play an active move after that, like rook f2, because we have the check on d8. And king g1, possibly e6. I don't think that this is really any good. So knight g6 looks best, I think, and then take on d1 to get to secure the c2 pawn. So I'm not sure this looks correct. Now we only have this one, of course. Yeah, I think this is I think the point of this, I'm not quite sure of the high rating here, because the solution is not very hidden or anything. We look at it in the analysis board just briefly. What we need to avoid here is that black captures on c2. Something like rook takes, or if we take here first, he will get this capture in, and knight takes is the same thing. So we need to take the bishop first and only then capture. And in this position that we see now, white is we have 6 pawns against 5, and black has a triple pawn on the g file. So this very much devalued pawn structure is going to cost him. Probably white is winning here. There's also d5 Henning, and we have a much more coordinated position overall. So bit weird. Okay, the next one. Aha, so we are playing with black here. And we are under some attack. Those kind of defensive combinations are always tricky, I think. So what is the threat? Yeah, queen h5 and queen h8 mate. So it's really dramatic what's going on here. Wow. We should do one thing: count the material. Let's count for once. White has sacrificed everything basically. Yeah, 2 pieces and a rook. Okay, so we can return some substantial material to defend this attack. Okay, so yeah, it must be knight f5. I mean, I think. What else is covering queen h5? Knight g6? No, knight g6. This queen h5. King g8, and probably knight h6 is also winning then. Wow, I think it must be knight f5. Probably, yeah. Knight f5 looks like the solution. Knight takes d6, rook d6. We are still awfully uncoordinated as black. But what is this actually? Rook and 3 pieces, yeah, against the queen. That's quite a lot. The knight will come to h6 and be a good defender. Knight f5, rook f5, ef, check on h5, king g8. There is no checkmate. There really isn't. No, I think this is right. Is there any other possible defense? I mean, it's a little bit like you can use the process of elimination here. It's not like we have tons of moves. Knight g6 I think is not working. Queen h5 check, king g8, and knight h6 check. Takes on h8, queen g6 check, king h8, rook f7, and over. This is mate. And knight h6 check, king f7, at least knight f5. Yeah, I think this is the right one, and it is the right one. And here probably with the rook, otherwise we're blundering the rook on d8. And this should really defend. The knight on h6 is a great defender. Okay, we still need to find one move. Is it bishop b7, or is this something bishop b7, or is it something more problematic even? What is the threat? Queen e8, yeah. Bishop b7, rook a8, bishop a8. Are we losing one of those pieces? That wouldn't be very nice. Yeah, they are all hanging. Yeah, they're all hanging. But okay, at best we lose one piece. Is there some other defense here against queen e8? Knight c6. Queen e8 is annoying, definitely. I really hate those defensive problems. Or is bishop b7 just enough? Rook a8, bishop a8, queen e8. There's some way to keep the whole stuff protected. Bishop c6. I mean, we will keep rook and 2 pieces, but it probably wins. But is there something stronger even against queen e8? Queen e8, rook h8 is made, yeah? Something like e5 maybe. e5. Queen e8. I don't see it. Come on, let's return one more piece. It's probably necessary. Yeah, I was thinking queen e8. I was slightly unsure if we probably will lose one piece back, but it's still winning because we have so much extra material. So it's still a win. Let's go to the analysis board briefly. Yeah, knight f5. We really have no other move. On knight g6, I was thinking check here, and now I wasn't totally sure. Maybe even queen g6 is good, but the check looks quite strong. This is a mate. No, black does not even have a check here. A relevant check at least. And here, can can go here if you want. But this really looks like there should be something. Yeah, knight is knight f5 mate. I don't really know. I don't think so actually. Maybe we can start to take material back also. Just take, or this simply, yeah. Or is this the simple and good solution? There's also knight g5 threatened, which is the real problem. Not the whole stuff hanging, but knight g5. This is probably winning. The line in the main line, I mean, was pretty straightforward. I think here there are only those checks, and now queen e8 forces us to play this. And after queen e8, which I was still thinking about, it's I think this should be part of the solution, because we will lose one piece back, and I would like to know what the best coordination of pieces is. Probably maybe this knight c6, or do we keep the bishop? I'm not sure. Thinking this could be an idea, and now maybe knight f5, so that stuff is protected, but it's not a trivial win. Or can we try to keep everything even? This is the real deal. This is the point. Yeah, okay. This and next rook d7, which keeps everything protected. Okay, so this is a little important detail. The queen now moves, and then rook d7, and everything protects each other. Okay, so the next problem. Still important to look at those little details at the end. So if we just lose a piece back for nothing, it's not totally clear. Okay, next position, and we play white. Okay. Yeah, this looks like one of those puzzles where this opposition, the queen on d3 and the queen on d5, there are some tricks. It looks like that. And the second important feature is that there definitely is e7 unprotected. Okay. Yeah, any direct moves won't work. So very, very direct moves. Was thinking, like knight e5. Yeah, knight e5. He just takes d3, and everything's fine for black. Yeah, you have to consider d5 here, definitely. Okay, so important feature. If we think about this, d5, ed5, rook e7 takes on c4. We have rook e8, check. King g7, queen d4, check. Any move, rook d8, and we have one apiece. That looks good. So this check on e8 is an important, very important feature of the position. So d5, he has to play queen d5. Probably. If we then take ed5, what then? We take e7, takes on c4, check on e8, king g7. Probably not leads to that much. However, after d5, queen d5, queen d5, e d5, the bishop is attacked on e7, and our knight might move to attack his rook, for example. So we can do d5, queen d5, queen d5, e d5, knight a5 is a possibility. Knight a5, attacking the bishop and the rook, but he has rook e6. Yeah, this is really sealing the. I mean, this is clearing him. d5, queen d5, e d5. Again, let's check this. Rook e7 takes on b3. This really looks like the solution. d5, queen takes on d5, e d5. Around here, there should be the key to the whole thing. Am I missing a point here? After rook e7, d takes c4, rook e8, king g7. I don't see the big point in this position. That's not good. I actually wonder. No, that's just probably nonsense, right? I was wondering if maybe, but this sounds. That feels very sophisticated. d5, queen d5, queen d5, e d5, knight c4. If this is the solution, because we will get to d5. Rook c3, knight d5 wins. And we get to d5. That's very good for white. It's probably the solution, right? Yeah, that's the solution. No, it's not. Okay, I thought d5 was right. So I probably didn't even come close. But why isn't? What exactly is wrong here? What is the solution? Rook e5. Okay, I totally failed in terms of candidate moves. I was only thinking d5 must be the solution. It's really so simple. Rook e5, queen a6, rook a5, winning the queen. It's really that simple. That's really very simple. Yeah. And most people manage that. Yeah, I was just thinking that it must be d5, and I didn't really look at other stuff. Still, I would like to know, if we go to the analysis board, I would like to know why. It's clear that rook e5 is the best move. I'm not arguing here. I was just thinking, I just want to know why d5 was so terrible. Maybe it wasn't. Let's check it. Okay, so I just want to know, d5, queen takes, that really needs to be played. A knight here. I was thinking that the knight coming to d5 should win. He's got this move though. That I didn't see. Yeah, of course I failed totally in terms of candidate moves. Yeah, I should have considered some other moves than d5, of course. That was very, very, very stupid. but maybe also instructional. I really failed in this department, just thinking it should be d5 and didn't really look at rook e5, which is a very simple move, really. Just attack the queen, attack it, and it's gone. So it's a pretty simple solution, really. So yeah, this failed, this idea that I had. Okay, so the next one. Okay, and really, I want to find this one. So let's see. At least this looks like some sort of mating thing. The only thing that really irritates me is it looks like, I mean, we're under attack as well, like queen c2 mate. So it does not look like there should be so many subtle points here. Subtle points. I mean, it must be a very quick thing to happen. It's not like we can do anything. But I think I spotted the solution. The problem is that our rook on g5 is really bad. I mean, it's badly placed. If the rook wasn't on the board at all, we would play rook h7, queen g7 mate. So we need to move it with the tempo. I guess here, this also blocks the mate on c2 and be threatening the rook h7 mate business. So this is the solution. Yeah, I found one. Good. Yeah, so this was doable, much easier than, I mean, the one before wasn't difficult, but I was simply not considering the rook e5 thing. Okay, so next one. This looks tricky. Back rank stuff. So here we definitely need to look at checks, all kinds of checks. The bishop on d1 here really is a key piece. It makes sure that we have rook e1. If we, for example, would take on b3, then this is not really that great, as we don't have a check on the back rank. Here it is a forced mate. Fortunately, I found it. Rook e1 check, only one reply, rook f1. And now knight h3 check. It's this typical series of checks. Knight h3. He cannot go to h1 as rook f1 is made, so he has to take. Queen, rook g6 check. Note that white's pieces on the queen side are complete spectators. And here we made him next move with rook e2. Or rook f1 mate. So it's basically a bunch of checks, all checks. We don't have any time to spare here. White shouldn't get any breathing time. So it's checks all the time, and very important, we need to use this golden moment where we have rook e1. The bishop on d1 is blocking the first rank so that we can get this check in. Yeah, quite nice. Okay. Oh, this looks very nice. Yeah, we are very close to the king, and it looks like there are mating ideas here, of course. The first thing that comes to mind here is bishop b2 check, king b1 only move, knight d5, intending knight c3 mate. And white really only has knight e4. I mean, I can take on e8 first. Queen takes, knight e4, and then we take the knight because there's still the mate. I think that's it. Yeah, and we have the checkmate. Not so difficult. It's about this mating pattern, this mating idea with knight c3. White's pieces are totally clumsily placed, yeah, with bishop on c2, knight on d2. So it blocks all the relevant squares, and so we get this kind of a smothered mate in. Okay, so let's do one more. Oh, that looks like a very wild position. Okay. Yeah, my experience is that I totally fail at this stuff. This kind of totally weird positions. But okay, let's see what I can do. If we look at this, if we go by candidate moves for once, I tend to ignore this concept, I know. But, well, isn't this just rook f8, by the way? Rook f8. He cannot go to g1, this knight e2, mate. If he goes to e1, okay. Here comes the first slight issue. Oh no, maybe not. We have knight c2 check, bishop c2, bishop f2 check, king d2, queen takes g5, wins the queen. And if he goes to f1, we have bishop e3 check, winning the queen. So I think rook f8 should win material. Lots of material. Yeah, it's also maybe a slight issue of what else. I mean, bishop e2 check looks ridiculous. This is right, yeah? Come on. Getting the last piece into the attack is almost always right. So check here, and if he goes to d2 immediately, we will take g5. This is great. And bishop takes, bishop f2 check is basically the same business. So this looks winning. Do we have anything else, anything better? Yeah, come on. It's only 1 point in a chess game. And this is medium. Yep. Okay, nice. So it wasn't that difficult, simply because, well, rook f8 is really a question of what else, and the rest basically yeah, comes quite naturally to you once you are that far. Yeah, okay, I hope you enjoyed this bunch of 2,200 problems. It was a mixed bag. Some I thought were tricky, some were simple, but even a relatively simple one I couldn't solve because I totally neglected the candidate moves principle. Yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching.